Okay, so should I start? Okay. A very warm good evening to everyone present over here. It's my pleasure to welcome you all on How to Be an Excellent Speaker Webinar Connect Day 2. Designed in conjugation and association with PSDS Society of Sydenham College. My name is Samiksha and I am truly humbled and grateful to all the enthusiastic participants who have joined us. Thank you very much. We are really grateful of your presence for gracing and beautifying this one-of-a-kind initiative taken by PSDS. We truly believe in adding values in order to escalate the highest potential. Our very esteemed and eminent keynote speaker that we have on board, Mr. Divas Gupta, welcoming you, sir.
Hey, thanks, Samiksha.
Yeah, so before we commence, I just have a very basic hygiene announcements to be made to all the participants who are present over here. So the one who are able to see us on YouTube live, so just in case there's any technical error or any technical glitch, you are not able to hear my voice or not able to communicate with us, please let us know in the comment box. Also, we will be circulating feedback forms at the end, so please stay tuned. Well, giving a presentation or a public speech can be a daunting task. You want to inform and persuade your audience, but you also want to maintain to their attention. The fears of phones opening or eyes closing may be real, but that's what brought you here. For the same, we have somebody very special with us. He is an IIM Kashipur alumni. He is a visionary making difference with his outstanding contribution in public domain. He is India's first Ikigai coach, a TedX speaker, and also a renowned orator in various IIM institutions. He is someone who has inspired more than 35,000 people across the internet. May I please invite and welcome Mr. Divas Gupta. So thank you for taking out your valuable time and joining with us. Hello, sir. How are you doing?
Hey, thanks, Amisha, for those wonderful words. It is a great privilege to be here, and your kind words made all the more difference. So thank you so much for having me on behalf of your entire institution. Feels great. And this evening is going to be really special for all of us. So yes, how do we take it ahead, folks? Let me know. Should we start rolling or should we just wait for some people to join in? What do you want me to do?
Yes, so I think you should start. The stage is totally yours, and we are really looking forward for your wonderful anecdotes.
Awesome, Samisha. Thank you so much. All right. So, folks, let us understand this right away. When we think of public speaking or when we say it is public speaking, well, I have witnessed both the worlds where I was stammering all my childhood. I could not speak my own name. When someone asked that, hey, what's your name? I used to go like, my name is the Divas. That was my childhood. And then I experienced something more powerful where I could express myself and be heard. Now, it's really important that we should be heard. We all speak. We all have a lot of ideas with us. We all have a lot of thoughts with us, which we want to share with this world, but something stops us from expressing ourselves, and that is the fear. The fear which somewhere cripples us and stops us from expressing ourselves. I would like to know that how many of you have this fear of public speaking? Just type in F in the comment section if you have this fear of public speaking. So all those who are watching me live this evening, or maybe if you watch me later on, just type in F in the comment section that yes, I do have a fear of public speaking. I believe that you're making your presence felt. This is the power of technology, whereby we are remotely connected. Still, we can feel each other through the comments and through the way you respond. So now, if you do not type, I'm sure you're lying this evening, because across the globe, people do have this fear, and that stops them from expressing themselves to the entirety. Have you ever wondered that what could be the reason why people are not able to express themselves? What are those reasons, where you want to express, you have a lot of stuff to share with this world, but something stops us. Think for a while and post in the comment section that what could be the reason why people have this fear of public speaking, or rather, why do you have this fear of public speaking? I would be curious to know that what could be the possible reason, a reason which has made a big difference in our lives. We could have availed a lot of opportunities, but somewhere it stopped us. Well, in my experience of training thousands of individuals, I realized that the fear of being judged is one big reason which brings this fear. Also, this fear of being rejected. We always want to be accepted. That's how this works. If you go and post anything over the social media, be it Instagram, be it Facebook, be it anywhere else, you expect some kind of likes, some kind of hearts, some kind of claps, and some good comments, yes or no? That's what we intend whenever we post our photograph or maybe any status, whatever. The expectation is that we should be accepted. If someone rejects us, not literally, but if anyone posts a hate comment or any kind of emoticon or emoji, we are like, hey, this person hates me, let me block him. And that's the way we have been conditioned, that we need to be accepted. And the same thing happens even before we go on that stage. Now, a stage can be anything. I don't intend to say that a stage is only that place where you're standing on a raised platform, holding a mic, and the spotlight focusing on you. Not really. Even this is a stage. I mean, connecting virtually through Zoom, Google Meet, or Instagram, Facebook Live, whatever you choose, all these are platforms. All these are, like some form of a stage for you. The point is that whenever you think of the stage, you think of that, hey, would the audience accept me or not? What if they laugh at me? What if they feel that, this guy is bad or this girl is bad? And we are more focused on their reactions than the focus on the message. And that's the key learning, folks. Your focus should not be on what the audience would say. Rather, the focus should always be on the message. Many a times, our focus is on, hey, what is happening within me? My cheeks go red. I'm dissipating heat from the ears. My voice is trembling and I'm feeling dry over here. And all those things are happening within myself. And my focus is drifted towards what is happening within me. Or the focus is on the outside, that okay, this guy's he's like laughing at me. Look at her, she is like making faces. Now that is what they are good at. You cannot control the reaction of the audience. However, what you can control is your response towards their reaction. And now, how do you make yourself calm? How do you ensure that you bring in that energy when you speak on that stage? How do you bring in that kind of unshakable confidence, which is like, bring it on, I'm going to rock the stage? How do you do that? The first thing is that you accept yourself. You accept your flaws. Out here, I'm not going to share those techniques of your voice, your body language. That's the skill set part of it, which we can learn on some other day. Today, through this session, my focus is majorly on your mindset. If you can fix this, folks, nothing like that. We often have this insecurity that, hey, I am not good enough. How do I look? My skin color is a bit wheatish. I am losing hair from this side. Oh my God, I have braces in my teeth. I wear glasses. Oh, I am so obese. Oh, I'm so short in height. And whatnot. Do we have such kind of insecurities? Just type in I. If you can resonate with such kind of insecurities which people have about themselves, that I am not good enough. Do we have these kind of insecurities where we tend to feel inferior as compared to others? Or there are people around us who make us feel less as compared to anyone else. They'll say, have you ever seen your face? You would speak, you loser. And those voices are clearly etched on the canvas of our mind. We somewhere remind ourselves of all those voices which are like, I am not good enough. I cannot go on that stage. What if everyone laughs at me? I cannot face anyone. Even before you dare to speak, you have surrendered. You have surrendered. Over here. You've lost it over here. Choice is yours, folks. That whether you prefer to listen to those voices who want to pull you down and make you feel that you are not worth it, or you choose to listen to your voice and you accept your flaws. I have a leitmotif. Leitmotif as in takiya kalam in Hindi, which I often use in all my videos, which says, stay awesome and stay productive. Now, people say that, hey, Divas, how do we stay awesome? There's so much of negativity around. And then I had to reframe the word and say, hey, stay flawsome. He said, what's that? I'm like, when you accept your flaws and still be awesome. That's easy to say over here through this session. But that's the reality. That is the hardcore truth. If you can master this part, trust me, half the battle, or more than half the battle is yours. This is only one. Think about it, folks. We have so much of insecurity when it comes to facing the people. And every single time you try to face anyone, it is that flaw, it is that voice that stops you. Trust me, the audience is not your enemy. The audience is not your enemy. The audience wants you to succeed. We often think that, they are the ones who really want me to fail. No. Think about it. When you record a video, when you give a talk, yes, you are facing your fears, but the audience is listening. They are giving you their time. And they do not want that their time should be wasted listening to someone who just goofs it up. So they really want that, if I have tuned into this person, let this moment be worthy enough so that I can feel enriched after this talk is over. Tell me honestly, you must be watching a lot of videos on the YouTube and everywhere around. Do you pray that, this should be a nice TED talk, this should be a nice video, enriching one, insightful one? The moment you say that, the value is not that much, what do? You drop out. You drop out. Yes or no? How many of you agree? Type in A for agree. If you agree with what I said, type in A for agree. Give me a heads up. Just think, when you as an audience want the speaker to make sense, to leave an impact, then certainly the audience wants you to succeed. But we think that the audience is trying to ensure that I fail, that I goof up. No, it's you. It's you, a part of you who wants you to fail. And the choice is yours, that you prefer to listen that part of yours, which is still influenced by those voices that you are not good enough, or you prefer to create a fresh new data set for yourself. Folks, you understand, this over here is a hard disk, is a hard drive. And this hard disk stores everything. If I ask you that, do you remember your childhood? The first time, or you kind of sang a song, or maybe any nursery rhyme, you will still remember, twinkle, twinkle, little stars, how I wonder what you are. Why? It is embedded into your system. And so is the case with all your past experiences. Now, what has happened that you have a scarcity. You have few moments where you have left a mark, and you have myriad of options. You have a lot of those snapshots where you have goofed up. Maybe you went on the stage and you slipped, and everyone laughed at you. Ha ha ha. and you felt embarrassed. You said, oh, everyone laughed at me. I felt insecure. I felt bad. Next time I won't go on stage. So you want dance, but something stops you. Similarly, the last time you tried to speak in English, which is just a language, overhyped, overrated because of the global acceptance, and those who do not come from a background or a place where English was just equal to the first language, they feel insecure. People who come from a rural background or those who did not have that kind of schooling or parents or circle, they feel insecure, they feel inferior. Why? This language. So all these thoughts somewhere stops us that, I'm not worth it. And the focus goes on the insecurities, goes on those voices that, if you try to speak in English and if anyone around you, your friend circle, they laugh at you, you feel, I'm not good enough. I think I should not try. If someone tries to form a group and they practice with them, there are those people who would laugh at you and say, don't try to act smart, okay? Just be in your limits. And you say, yeah, he is right. I should not cross the limits. I should remain who I am. Folks, understand. Skills of communication is not just for people who are a part of any debating society or who represent any institution or any event on stage. I'm sure in the next few months, years, you would have interviews lined up for you as you go ahead in your job, in your career. Even there, it's your skills of communication that plays an important role. Think about it. Do not just have a myopic perspective around public speaking. Think about it. You pick up any job across the internet, they have their core competency and then they have something more meaningful. That is your ability to communicate. Good communication skills. You pick up any job on LinkedIn, Indeed, any job portal, this is what they mention. You go ahead in the organization, it's the way you communicate. Ask yourself, how many opportunities have you missed out just because of this fear? Just because of this fear. There's something called as visibility. Something called as visibility in the organization, in the college, in the school, wherever you are at this point of time. How much visible you are in the organization, that makes a difference. For example, you made a presentation as a group. Great job. You worked the entire night, made the presentation. But when it comes to expressing or presenting in front of the entire class, entire batch of faculties, you say, no, I would stay back. You go ahead and present. I'm there to support you. Go ahead. And you took a back seat. Now that's how it works, right? People who gain that limelight, who gain that visibility, they do get the brownie points, they do get the eyeballs, and that makes a difference. And then there are people in the organization who complain that, he's so lucky. She's so lucky. I think she's boss. She's like favorite of the boss. The boss likes her, I guess. That's the reason she got the promotion. No, my dear. She was smart enough to work on a skill set, that is communication, which helped her gain the visibility. She was able to communicate her ideas to the team, and that made the difference. I hope you understand that. What kind of myths have we developed over here? These are like all narratives created by us just to make ourselves comfortable. Because it's difficult to face the reality. How can I face the reality? I should pick up a job in which I need not come forward and speak. Fair enough. Then don't complain. If tomorrow you don't get that kind of visibility, promotion, hike opportunity, then don't complain. Simple. The world is fair. Don't say that, oh my God, the world is unfair to me. I hope it resonates with you that you need to take ownership, folks. Just take ownership of what you have to say. And all this would happen when you accept yourself before you blame someone else. Moreover, if we kind of understand that from fear of being rejected and we want to be accepted, what more? What more goes in the mind of a speaker? Think about it. What is it that stops us from expressing ourselves? Think for a while what it could be. When we think of public speaking, or rather, let's discuss that what can be the way out, the solution. All this is known to us now that we have this fear of rejection, fear of not being accepted. So, what can we do in order to change our perspective, change the way we think? As I discussed, it is a hard disk. You have a lot of past events where you goofed up, a lot of past events where you did not have a pleasant memory. So what do? We create a fresh new data set, which is more empowering and which is much more liberating. Now, how do you create that? Well, I follow this technique with my students. You can try it with your group if you have any. First of all, find a group which has a common purpose, It can be an online group, it can be an offline group, whichever works. So I have an online group of my students on like Facebook, where every day I give them a topic on which they have to record their videos. Now, gone are those days where you had to pull out your mirror, look at the wall, look at the mirror, and then say, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of all?" Now, I don't have that mirror which perhaps was available in the Snow White era, because that mirror used to respond and say that, "Hey, Majesty, it's you who is the fairest of all." Now, this mirror would not give me a feedback whether I am speaking well or not. Do I need to improve my voice, my tonality, my pitch, my volume, my pace? No, my body language, my gestures. This mirror is not going to give me any input, any feedback. It just sees you and gives you an ego massage, makes you feel good, and that's it. Because you don't see, you don't record yourself. Now, this thing was prevalent back in those days where there was no technology available. But today we have the gadget, our smartphone, which can be used to create a fresh new data set. So what do? Every day you have a topic on which you record a video. Once you record a video, there is a 3-step process through which you review the video. You can do it at your own home. I mean, you need not go out somewhere. It's completely your choice. Now, when you record the video, you review it in 3 steps. In the first step, you just watch yourself without the audio. So you mute yourself and you just watch. What are your gestures, your body language, all those things are being observed. That's it. In the second step, you just listen. You just listen to yourself, that how you speak. You may bring your phone over here and just listen that, okay, how am I speaking? I mean, the pace, the pitch, the volume, the intonation, all those stuff. How is it? Is it good? Not. Because when you look at the mirror, it's a real time. You don't get the recording of it. And lastly, you have both the things, the audio, the video, and also the words and the overall feeling of it. Now, this gives you a holistic picture so as to how you are speaking. And if you have that group which can give you feedback, boom, nothing like that. Because I do that. So when we have this group whereby we share a topic, people record their videos, then they review, and the tribe, the community, they give a feedback so as to where you can improve. This is a magical way which I have tried and tested for over 1,000+ students, and it has worked. That's why I can say this with so much of assurance that yes, it would certainly work for you as well. Do that, okay? This way, getting a feedback from those like-minded people. If you try something similar on your profile, chances are really high that you will attract hate comments or someone laughing at your video, because that's what people do. They just aspire to be like you. The best way to handle hate comments or any kind of negativity from people around you is to consider the situation. Have you ever wondered that why do dogs chase a car? Why do dogs chase a car? If you drive, you will often see that there's a dog who like woof, 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 and he'll try to catch up. He knows that he cannot catch up. Even you know it. Now, there are some people who act like those dogs, right? They want to be like you. They really want to be like you. They are like, how can this person be on that stage and can address all of us? It is their insecurities that show up, which makes them react in that moment, and they just post anything. Maybe a laughing emoji, maybe any kind of hate comment, and that kind of lowers your confidence. It happens whereby we are just focused on that one hate comment, and I'm like, oh my god, the world hates me, and then we stop practicing, then we stop putting videos. Does it happen, folks? If it happens, type in yes in the comment section that yes, we have somewhere seen this, that the moment someone posts a hate comment, it somewhere affects us, that the world is not accepting. Again, do you see this? Rejection, acceptance. Tell me honestly, this legend, A.R. Rahman, had an Oscar winning song. Do you guys remember it? Which song am I talking about? Yeah, Slumdog Millionaire, Jai Ho. Now, I have a huge admiration for Mr. Rahman. And when I watched that video on the YouTube, I was surprised. There were lakhs of likes and there were a lot many dislikes. And I felt that this guy should stop composing music because the world is not accepting him. There are people who hate him. But again, it's up to you where you focus your energy. In the audience, if you have that one person sitting listening to you, you focus on him if required. Ideally, the focus is on the message. Your purpose is to empower, is to educate, is to enlighten whenever you go on that stage. Even this is a stage. Right now, these 60 minutes or 45 minutes, whatever I have with me, this is my platform, this is my stage, this is my voice which I can use to empower you. Your voice is powerful, folks. Do not ignore it or just say, oh, I just have a voice. Feel lucky. It's your gift. It's your gift. Ask someone who cannot even speak properly. Ask me. I know the power of voice. Someone who was like the Divas. My TED talk was around the same. Last year when I was on that stage, I did share how I used to speak. And the power of words, the power of voice, it's so important. So when you have this gift, don't let this gift fade out. So all those hate comments, let the dog chase you, chase you, chase you. If you stop and address such kind of dogs on your way, you would never reach your destination. You would burn out on the way. You would just stop. You will either injure yourself or get into like some kind of trouble or unnecessary wastage of energy if you focus on those people who are just there to bark or bite you. Choice is yours, whether you focus on them or on your goal, your journey. It takes time. Let me be very honest. It takes time. It's not a magical wand that Wingardium Laviosa and something would happen. It would not happen. Even this video, this session, you might feel that, hey, this was enlightening. I feel empowered. I feel enriched. Good. I shall be blunt. That if you just say, yeah, this was nice, and you don't practice, this would fade out. You would say, yeah, it was a Tuesday evening. I attended a live session. It was great. The guy was good. The energy was nice and everything was good. But who would record video? Can we have an easier solution, Divas? Well, if you want me to give you some kind of antidote or anything of that sort, well, it is just promising you the moon and giving you nothing. Trust me, that's the way it works. And if you do not take ownership of your life, then we should not blame or not be jealous of anyone around us. The power of words, folks. What you say to yourself matters a lot. Choice is yours. Whether you say this to yourself that, yes, I am enough, I take ownership of my life, or you just end up complaining. Ask yourself, what is the narrative that runs in your head? What do you say to yourself time and again, time and again, time and again? Because that's important. You have been overburdened by those limiting voices that somewhere stops you. So choice is yours. Whether you listen to that voice which stops you, or you create a new data set which is much more empowering, much more liberating. When you practice with your group, which is there, which is goal focused, which is more positive, which gives you feedback, that kind of community makes a difference. So think on those grounds. And now I can take up a few more questions from some folks out here who have taken the pains of joining this evening. So I would insist my partners in crime, Samiksha, Soumya, and Dev, to shoot the questions, and I would be there to answer them in the best of my capacity.
Yes, sir. That's really wonderful. You spoke like a true leader, and that's why they say when you have the right leadership, you are bound to be successful. So I am sure those words of wisdom that you have just addressed, they're going to be imbibed by a lot of people, and we are really looking forward to implement it for climbing up the ladder and reaching the highest pinnacle. So it was an absolute pleasure and delight having you. Well, we have some questions that are coming in right now by our viewers. So, without any further ado, let's get to that. Also, in the meantime, participants, if you have any room for confusion or doubt, queries, please don't hesitate to ask in comment box. We will try to address each question in some time. So, whatever you spoke completely resonated with me, but I have a doubt. How do I overcome the tendency of speaking in the middle of words just to remember the next sentence of my speech? Or what if I forget and everything goes blank in middle of my speech? What do I do to buy time?
Got it. Awesome. So whosoever asked this question, I am also the same boat. You know what? These things like the fillers, we are somewhere vocalizing our thoughts. When I am thinking and when I have to go to the next part of my speech, I have that brief transition. And that transition is happening over here. And I am vocalizing that transition through my R's and So do it consciously. In the last half an hour, I know that there were many moments where I used R and just to give you a feel that, I'm like making it so thought-provoking. I could have been silent. Even that's okay. Instead of sounding that I am thinking, I can deliberately take a silent pause. Pauses work like a magic. The point which you mentioned that, what if I forget things?
Yeah.
How would the audience respond to it? The audience does not know what you have to say. Right now, You guys do not know what I have to say. Even I do not know what I have to say. I am just like saying out things, right? If I have a script with me that okay, I have to refer this point, this point, this point, this point, this point, that's something else, right? But people out there in the audience, they have no clue, they have no idea what's coming next. Think about it. It's we who know it, that I had rehearsed, I had practiced this line, then this phrase, then this paragraph, then this word. It's all over here. The audience does not have your script, right? So get this tendency, like we think that I have like gone wrong. No. If certainly you have a competition, if you have a TEDx speech, if you have some kind of like competition and all, over there, yes, you practice. I remember I was having sleepless nights when I won the Toastmaster championship at the age of 22. I remember be it at laundromat, be it at the parking lot, be it having breakfast, lunch, dinner. I had that script next to me which I was referring throughout the day. So it was well rehearsed. It looked as if it was natural. And that is the best part about the great speakers. They sound natural, but everything is well rehearsed. Every pause, every hand movement, it is all rehearsed. If you will attend my webinars, you'll be surprised to see that, hey, is he reading from somewhere? No. I have done that so many times that it is in the back of my mind that, yes, I know it. But if I pick up something new without practice, then I may surely use some fillers, because I'm creating things in the real time. That's what things happen. So any great speaker, you pick up the best of the best from the industry, would have practiced the script, would have practiced what he has to share. And what happens, the best approach is the rule of three. As in, whenever you're supposed to speak, we run out of ideas. So as to what should I say? I am figuring it out. I am like trying to think what should I say. And that is where the filler comes in. That all these things would come in because we haven't practiced. We haven't, like, the mind does not know what comes next. So the best approach is having the rule of three, whereby for anything, ask yourself three important things you want to share with the world. If you ask a question, right, what are those three things which you would love to share with the world? You can start with this technique. It helps a lot. I'm sure, whenever you guys do a webinar for someone, you do have a structure that, okay, I would have the opening lines and I would let the platform open for the speaker, and then I would have the last few lines, and you have a structure to it. So your mind knows it. I have to follow these lines. Else, in that real time, your mind may go berserk. That, oh my God, what do I say next? So structure always gives you that space. Structure always gives you that operating space where you need not use fillers. So the first thing, get the structure right. And secondly, you need not worry about what people will think because they have no idea. Samiksha, you need to unmute yourself.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It was really great. And I mean, your explanation was crystal clear. Thank you, sir. And that does answer our question. And the next question that is coming in right now by Palak Bhatt, she is asking, I have good ideas, but I cannot communicate. What should I do?
Wow. Palak, if you have great ideas and you cannot communicate, I would like to know that what goes in your mind. Is it like that my ideas are not good enough as compared to what people might think? This is a lot of self-doubt is there, where before people criticize us, we are our self-critiques. We think that I'm not good enough. I think my ideas are not as worthy. Why would people listen to me? It's like already available everywhere. You'll be surprised to know that every great speaker, I'm not only like public speakers, but any great leader who talks about anything, you can find this on YouTube, right? YouTube is a big, very big hard disk, right? A very big hard drive, which has everything. Still, why do people listen to newbies? Why do people listen to anyone who comes on the social media? because they have their perspective to share. So Palak, when you underrate your ideas, it's you who is underrating it. That's your lack of self-belief. That's your lack of self-worth. And that's one more big reason. I thank you for bringing this question up, because lack of self-worth is something which stops maximum public speakers or anyone to express themselves. When I say public speaker, even like Samisha, you're also a public speaker right now because you're addressing everyone, right? We have a relative self-worth. What happens? We suffer from a Kaba effect. CABA. Now, what is Kaba? It is Chota Admi, Bada Admi. You know? When you have a Bada Admi, it's like, oh my God, he's a Bada Admi. How will I speak with him? And you shiver, you tremble, you doubt yourself. And if you have a Chota Admi, as per you, that person is good enough, but as per you, in your eyes, he's a Chota Admi, you know? That's what we think at times, which is wrong. For example, if I have to talk to any security guards, any waiter in a restaurant, they're doing the job. But some people think that, he's a chota. No, that's not the case. But when you talk to that person, we are super confident. We're like, hey, get this, do this, do this. It's very easy for us. But the moment we have a boss, a principal, director, dean, sir, may I come in, sir? Hello, sir. We are stuck because our worth, our self-worth is relative. We see a senior and we are stammering, we are struggling with our voice because in our eyes, he's a bada admi. You're the same person, Bala. Your self-worth should not dwindle seeing the person on the other side, right? And this happens when you realize your gifts, when you have a high value for yourself that, yes, I am enough, I'm worth it, right? You would always believe in your idea that, okay, it is fair that the world may not accept my ideas. I'm not here to please everyone. Still, I have a perspective to share with this world. You have experiences, which is completely unique. You have been through it, you have gone through it, Palak. So you cannot expect everyone to have the same experience which you had, right? So believing in what, or in who you are, that's more important. And your self-worth should be intact, not relative.
Wow, sir, that was amazing. I mean, it was really short, crisp, and clear. I think Palak has got her answer. Another question that is coming in right now is by Yashita Bangari. She is asking, often when I express my ideas, I tend to be repetitive with my phrases. Is there any way to avoid that, sir? Because it sounds like my speech is being dragged unnecessarily.
Okay. This often happens when we go for an online session. Like in this case, I cannot see the audience. I cannot get their response, whether they are understanding me or not. I cannot read the comments. I cannot see their gestures, that whether what I'm saying, does it resonate or not. So even I realized that I had to repeat a point or rephrase the same point in a different way, because it's a thought going in my head that I do not know what kind of audience is there on the other side, right? Would they understand or not? So there is a doubt going in over here that I should ensure that my audience understands everything to the minutest level. So I may try different ways to explain the same point using different sentences. So in your case, if it is happening in the online mode, it's completely normal because you do not get the response from the audience, because that's how communication works. It is a two-way process, right? That yes, there's someone on the other side who even understands. I mean, speaking is one part. You can jabber the whole day, whole night, and there's nobody to listen and understand you. That's of no use, right? If you are speaking so that people can understand what you are saying, right? That's a two-way process. So online case, it's completely okay because you don't get to see. If you have a chat option enabled, then yes, definitely you can see the response and can change things as per the response. So that is a kind of reassurance for you that you are making sense. However, if it is in the offline presence, then the problem is in your head, whereby you do not believe in what you say. You are talking to yourself. You are asking yourself, whether am I making sense or not. When you're not sure of what you are saying, you would repeat the things, you would rephrase the things to make sense, not to everyone, but to yourself. Because deep within, you're not convinced with what you are saying. So when you are sure that, yes, it is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I need not change things. The structure is very clear. I am sure of the structure and the format. So this happens when we are not too sure of what we are supposed to say. So again, the practice would make a difference. And that's where recording every single day and getting a feedback from the tribe would make a difference. So find a group, form a tribe, and start practicing. The structure would be here.
Wow, so that's really great, and it's very engaging listening to you. You have got an amazing voice, I must say. And another question that is coming in right now is by Savi Pawar. What if the audience is least interested? Even at such point, there is a lack of confidence.
Okay. Now, the concern is that if the audience is least interested, now the responsibility lies on your shoulders that how do you make it engaging? Do I say, hello, everyone, welcome to the session, and I will bore you for the next 30 minutes. Please bear with me. That's one way. And the other one is that you get your energy rolling. Folks, I have seen it. In my experience, energy plays a vital role. I mean, if you can bring in that energy, if you can engage. See, the audience wants to have fun. They want to feel that, okay, whatever time they're listening to you, you should be worthy enough in terms of your knowledge, in terms of your delivery, in terms of the overall experience. So if you can create that, the audience which is not at all interested would be interested. And that is the work of a speaker. If you feel that the audience is not responding, instead of blaming them, let's look into ourselves so as to where we can improve. We often say that, there are some teachers who would complain that there are students who don't even listen to me because the way you communicate, you have great knowledge. I don't doubt that. But the way you express yourself, the way you communicate, that makes a big difference. I have seen it. In the webinars which I conduct, close to 490 people would join in for a live session. And the dropout ratio is really low. For a 3-hour workshop, which I do, we started at like 480 and we would close by 460 or 465. That's a huge number in spite of that 3-hour workshop. Else people drop out even up. This thing, right? I mean, when we have our smartphone, we just swipe up. We just watch the first few seconds. If it is engaging, it's good. Else, next, right? That is the attention span. So if you are not able to engage the audience, the fault is not in stars. The fault is in our stars, where we have to fix things before blaming it to the audience. Again, ownership of your words would matter. And the way you bring in the energy, that can keep us going for hours and hours.
Yes, so that's really compelling listening to you. I can listen to you for hours. So our audience. And another question that we have right now is by Abbas Bora. He's asking, I can speak well with people, I know. How should I improvise my skills while I'm addressing to a larger audience? Okay. I think what wants to say over here is how to do impromptu, how to be really informal in that way.
Is it about impromptu? Is it about being on those stages and addressing the larger audience? I think what he said, right?
Yeah. Addressing larger audience and also how to be very lively and impromptu.
Okay. When it's about being lively, in what state you are in. I mean, before any session, be it a physical one or a virtual one, I pep myself up. I would listen to some kind of music, any of my favorite number, right? And be in that peak state, get high on energy, maybe do some workout if required, a few minutes before the session, and get in that state of energy. Your physiology, as in your body, your movement plays a very important role. So if you feel that, oh my God, I have a session in the next few minutes, I have to go live on any stage, be it virtual, be it physical, how would the audience respond? No, rather in those few minutes, just bring yourself in that peak state through any way which works for you. Music or workout, whatever works, right? That would help you. That would help you drive through the entire session with energy. So no matter how big the size is, we often think that, oh, like right now I have two people on my screen, maybe there are 2,000, they're like 2 lakh, barely matters. It's just a number. It's just a number. Right now, no matter how many people may be like watching this, that would not affect me, because right now I look at this one tiny hole that is the camera, and through that I look at everyone. My focus is on the camera, and that matters a lot. Secondly, as I mentioned about the camera, when people go on those big stages, they get overwhelmed because they think that, oh my God, there are so many eyeballs popping out at me, looking my every movement, and I'm like, oh, what would happen? Now, understand, if you would look into their eyes, rather everyone's eyes, that to stare at them, you will get bogged down. You'll be like, oh my God, you may fall in love also. However, the best way to maintain the eye contact is to divide the audience into chunks and look at them in segments, not into everyone's eyes, but maybe left, center, and right. You look at everyone, it's the entire coverage in the audience, and you look straight, as in you divide the audience into like 3 chunks: left, center, and right, and you look at them straight, right, without missing on anyone. And this works. The reason being because eye contact is something which gives you that confidence. No matter deep within you are scared like hell, however, when you go on the stage without even uttering a single word, you smile and you look at everyone. Deep within you say, oh my God, why did I sign up for this? Why I am here? This thing should end. But you're like, I'm feeling so good. That bugger is looking at me. That's completely okay. But I'm feeling so good. I would handle him. I would definitely handle him. But on the face of it, it's like a smiling face, which kind of confuses the people. That how come he's smiling at all of us? Isn't he feeling nervous? Because that's how the body responds. Whereby if we are nervous, without even we saying a single word, the body responds. So just to dodge your emotions, if you can smile and look at everyone, your battle is won. Because the mind is like, hey, aren't you supposed to feel nervous? Why are you smiling? You give an indication, a trigger to your mind that, hey, everything is calm, under control, composed, smile, relax, smile, relax. The mind says, all right, smile, relax, cool. Get this?
Wow, sir, you have such wonderful anecdotes to share with us. It's seriously amazing. Well, we have the last question for the day.
Okay.
And the question is by Siddhi Rai. She's asking, what is the proper way to influence the interviewer and what is the proper way to introduce oneself? I guess this is a question that everybody wants to ask.
All right. So with respect to influencing the HR, the interviewer, ultimately understand that what is the agenda? You are there to sell yourself. You are there to sell yourself. And we are kind of insecure that I'm not for sale. I am my daddy, little princess. We have those kind of attributions where we feel cheap if I say that you have to sell yourself. But the hard fact is that every one of us is trying to sell themselves. If you have to woo a girl, we have, 1 second. I have Dave with us, right, Dave? Yeah. So Dave, supposedly if you have to approach any girl, right? We just had like Valentine's Day a few weeks back. How would you approach a girl? Would you say that, you know what, I am short-tempered, I may lose my temperament, so if you're okay with that, then we can think of a relationship, else bye-bye? Or would you say, you know what, dear, the moment I see you, the roses and the pink and the blues and the violins and everything is so smooth in my life. What are you doing? You're trying to sell yourself. You would never say that I am not hardworking, I'm not punctual, I'm not like this. You'll say, sir, I'm a really hardworking candidate. I'm like the best person for you. So, first of all, get this night in your head that you are offering a skill set in exchange of some salary, and that's a perfect balanced equation, right? When you say that I have to influence the HR, how would the HR be influenced? You have to just map your skill set, which are relevant to the interviewer. If you have that relevant skill set, and if you are positive as a person, the way you communicate, again, in case of interviews, if you have the templates with you, that, okay, this is how you have to answer your question, but the way you communicate is horrible, then certainly it would not leave an impact. So if in your mind that you think that, yes, I am deserving enough, I am like worth it, I would certainly try to offer my services without begging for a job. I often see MBA grads thinking that, sir, please give me a chance, sir, please give me an opportunity, sir. I'm a fresher, sir, please, sir, please, sir. Don't beg for a job. Don't beg for a job, right? Again, it's all about the mindset that when you think that you are at the receiving end, you would sound every sentence, your voice, your body language would sound as if you are begging for something. Whereas on the other side, if you think that, yes, I have worked on my craft, I am deserving enough, I have worked on my skill set, it's a mutual exchange of like values and like services, right? Like fair enough. You would not have to beg and strive hard to influence anyone. It will be natural for you. The second part, which is about how to answer a question, tell me something about yourself. Well, I did a video on that. It's on my YouTube channel. I'll go and check it out. I have given the entire template so as to how you can answer a question and why you should like say what you say. And you can always like, find out, like, tell me, sorry, the question is how to answer, tell me something about yourself. Go and check it out. You'll have the answer.
Sure, sir. Thank you, sir, for being such a wonderful orator and for a phenomenal session. I am sure we all have learned and gained a lot of insight, and we are looking forward to implement it. Further, I would like to call upon Dave, coordinator of PSDS Society, to express gratitude. Hello, Dave.
Hi, Samiksha. Thank you. So, hello, sir, and my fellow friends who are watching this. A very good evening to all. Thank you, sir, for extending the session and creating a difference. Myself, Dev Bhuta, the coordinator of Public Speaking and Debating Society. I'm out of words for appreciation regarding today's session. Sir, you are undoubtedly one of the best speaker that there is. I have learned a lot, and I'm sure everyone here who has attended and watched the video have benefited from it. I would like to conclude by thanking each and every person who could make this possible. I would first like to thank Mr. Divas Gupta. Sir, thank you for taking out time for this session. Thank you for all the values imparted. It was really an insightful session. Thank you, Samiksha, for being such an amazing host and making this session lively from the minute it started. I would like to extend my gratitude towards our respected professor in charge, Dr. Ritesh Singhal, for guiding us throughout the journey of PSDS. I would now like to thank the joint chairpersons of the society, Ms. Palak Bhatt and Ms. Tejal Urban, for always being very supporting and motivating and helping us throughout the Society of Connect. I would like to thank my joint coordinator, Mr. Abbas Bora, for being optimistic and helping us getting the work done. Last but not the least, I would also like to thank my entire committee for working day and night throughout the session. Thank you for everyone who watched this. I hope you learned a lot like I did. We will be back again with another event soon. Thank you and stay tuned, everyone.
Thank you, sir. It was great having you here. It was an absolute delight.
Thanks, Samiksha, for having me over here. Thanks, Dave, and the entire team out here.
It
Great.
was a really great session.
Thank you so much. So let's work on our craft and let's take ownership of our life. And till then, have fun. Stay awesome. Stay productive. Bye-bye.
Bye.